show you how to save money on those costly repairs that it would cost you if you went and got a plumber. I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself. Do you have a leaky sink? Check this out. I don't have any plumber's putty, but that's not what I want anyway, so let's take a ride to Home Depot and see what I could find. The first thing we should do is decide where the leak is coming from. Today, when I run the water, it comes down over here, and this piece over here obviously is not glued in. I don't know how it was installed without anything on there, but I'm going to show you how you can take this and seal this right here. I would suggest the first thing you do is make sure you lay some towels down to catch all the water that's going to come out of here as soon as you disconnect this bladder pipe. So after you disconnect this, I would take it and move it away so you can disconnect the flange over here, and it should just pop out. Sometimes it may be tricky trying to get this out because it looks like it just stays in here. See, but the trick is this screw over here comes down right to the center over here. All you need to do is grab a flathead screwdriver and twist counterclockwise until it'll pop out, and you can pull the whole unit out. After you remove the whole unit, it's going to look something like this. It should just twist right off, and this stays on the bottom. Make sure not to lose this screw, because this is the screw that holds everything together. Now, what you need is to take your gasket and keep this to the side. As long as it's not cracked or degraded in any way, it's still good to use. So don't go and buy another one if there's nothing wrong with this one. Second thing you need to do is, most people use like a plumber's putty or some type of non-adhesive. That's not something that I like. If I'm gonna put something into the sink, I want it to stay there and I want it to be watertight. What I would use is Loctite has a marine grade adhesive sealant that will work perfectly with your sink. Instead of using any type of a putty that just kind of stays there for about a year or two, I want something that's actually going to stay. So if I was going to fix your sink, this is what I would use first. The first thing I would do is make sure that all of the area which you're about to apply the Loctite is completely free of any grease or dirt, or do whatever it takes. I use the degreaser to make sure it's a good surface. So the first thing I would do is take your Loctite. Now again, this is what I suggest using. This is what I like because I want something that's actually going to seal to the unit and not just make a barrier between water and metal. So the first thing you do after removing everything is get your Loctite and get a pretty good solid bead around your whole unit. Something about that much. You do not need that much. And you're going to take this and you're going to put it all the way around. Now after you get a good solid bead around the unit, it's going to look as something a little bit like this. Notice you don't want to go towards the edge, because when you place it down, it's going to come out and it's going to seal to the whole metal unit that's in the sink. Now after you place the unit back into the sink, I would push down just a little bit just to make sure that nothing seeps out. If it does, just take a paper cloth or something and remove any debris that comes out the side. Being that you put it on the inside of the lip, it's probably not going to come out. The next step is to put the cup on the bottom of the unit. I like to take just a paper thin amount of the RTV or the actual sealant and put it on top. So when you put your gasket on, it's going to seal perfectly onto here. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. It just ensures that the gasket stays in place and makes a second layer of protection from water intrusion. The next step is to put the cup back on the bottom of the drain. So if you remember, there was a screw that went through the middle and that goes directly in the center here. This is what will seal this up into the drain. So you just push a little firmly and add the screw to seal it all in. The more you tighten the screw determines how tight it's going to be over here. So of course you should know righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I would go as tight as you can until you can't go anymore. And you should be good to go. The next steps are just basically put everything back together the way it was before. It's pretty simple. It's kind of fun when you come down and think about it. It's really as simple as that. You just put everything back together the way you originally found it, run some water, and see if your job is good. It is literally that simple. The job should only take you about 10 minutes, and it's going to save you at least $300 to $500 to call out a plumber and do this for you. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and look forward to my next video. Thank you again. This is Brian with Real Talk.